You're listening to the Health, Tech, and Wellness Podcast, where we cut through the noise and get straight to what really works for real people. This is more than just losing weight. It's about gaining life and doing the things you never thought you could do, building lasting confidence and creating a body and mind you truly love. I'm your host, John Adams. I've spent years refining a sustainable plan that's realistic, balanced, and proven to work. And I'm on a mission to pay it forward by sharing what I've learned to help you build the life you truly deserve. Welcome to episode 2 of the Health, Tech, and Wellness Podcast. I'm your host, John Adams, and I'm thrilled to have you here. If you're joining us for the first time, I highly recommend you check out episode 1, where we dove into the keto diet, what works, what doesn't work, and why the 95-5 lifestyle that I'm talking about might just be the long-term solution that you've been searching for. So stick around. Today, we're diving into the other top 4 fad diets. We're going to break down what they are, what they get right, and where they fall short, and why so many people keep falling into the cycle of trying them over and over again. Originally, I planned on dedicating an episode to each one of those diets, but I realized it's more beneficial to tackle them all at once so we can move forward into deeper discussion about how to lose weight and sustain that success for the rest of our lives. Before we start naming names, let's talk about the psychology behind these fad diets. Why do we continuously get pulled into them? Well, they promise fast results. Lose 10 pounds in 10 days. And that's tempting when you're frustrated and just completely desperate. They often have strict rules that make them feel super simple. Just cut carbs, eat only during an 8-hour window, or drink shakes instead of meals. Oh my God, I couldn't drink my meal to save my life. I like a good shake, but that just couldn't do it. But here's the thing, guys. They're not designed for the long haul. They focus on quick fixes rather than teaching us how to eat and live sustainably. And when they fail, it's easy to feel like you failed, even though the system itself is what's broken. Let's dive into some of the most popular fad diets out there and take a closer look at what they get right and where they fall short. Let's start with the Paleo diet. The idea behind the Paleo diet is to eat like our ancient ancestors. Whole foods, lean meats, veggies, fruits, nuts, and seeds. Sounds pretty close to a clean eating. It does. But here's the thing. It's great in theory because it cuts out all those processed foods that I'm constantly harping on. But let's be real for a second. Our ancestors didn't have grocery stores, and cravings weren't exactly their concern. And if you really want to be technical, you could even say they invented intermittent fasting. Heck, they were hunter-gatherers. They might go days between meals. Talk about intermittent fasting success. Let's get serious, though. How do you deal with those cravings in today's world? That's where the 95-5 lifestyle comes in. And trust me, when we start digging into this as we get into later episodes, you're going to really understand and wish that you found this sooner. Now, one thing to note about Paleo is that it often cuts out grains, beans, and dairy, foods that are perfectly healthy for most people and can play a key role in balanced lifestyles. But why miss out on those if you don't have to? Again, I'm not big on the processed foods all the time, but in a consistent, balanced way of life, during that 5%, you're at a birthday party and you're going to have cake, it's fine, because we're going to teach you how to live and rewire your mind and your thinking for those other 95% of your life. Now, let's dive into what I was just joking about 2 seconds ago, intermittent fasting. So what's it all about? Intermittent fasting focuses on when you eat rather than what you eat. It can work for some people by reducing calorie intake and giving the body a break from consistent digestion. Sounds simple enough, right? But let's be honest. Skipping meals or fasting for long periods can be tough to stick to. And it's definitely not for everyone, especially if you've got a history of disordered eating, blood sugar issues, or let's face it, if you just really love breakfast like I do. Here's where it gets personal for me. When I first tried intermittent fasting, I thought I'd crack the code. I'd starve myself all day, telling myself I was being disciplined. And then I'd absolutely gorge myself when it was time to eat. And boy, did I eat. It was, guys, it wasn't pretty. And it wasn't healthy. The cycle of deprivation and binging, it was one of the biggest reasons my A1C shot to that terrifying 13.4. Now, I'm not saying intermittent fasting doesn't have its place, because it does. In fact, I use it as part of my 95-5 lifestyle. The difference is I've learned how to do it the right way now. The thing most people get wrong about intermittent fasting is thinking it's all about how long you can go without eating. Our ancestors, days. No, that's only going to lead to binge eating. Guys, here's the point. Intermittent fasting isn't about pushing your body to its limits or proving how long you can go without eating. It's about giving yourself and your body a little extra time to rest and recover from digestion. Time it often doesn't get in our modern snack all day lifestyles. Here's an easy way to ease into it. Think about it this way. Start with 12 hours. 12 hours fasting window. Think about it. Guess what? You might already be doing it and you don't even realize it. Think about this. Most of us, or at least most of us, should get for about 8 hours of sleep a night, right? So let's just say you're getting the recommended 8 hours of sleep. That leaves just 2 hours before bed and 2 hours after we wake up without eating. And boom, you've already hit your 12-hour fasting window. So don't get up for the midnight snack. Don't eat in bed. Don't eat right before bed. And then when you get up, do your workout if you're going to work out. I'm not saying you have to work out. I'm saying working out helps, and it will keep your body healthy and help with your weight loss. And I do work out, but I don't kill myself. We'll talk about my workout routine in a future episode. But what I'm wanting to let you guys know is in that first 2 hours when you get up, do something. Read a book. Take a shower. Take care of your body. At the end of the day, take that 2 hours and let your body continue to relax. Now, you might be getting up just in time to go out the door for work. I understand that. But this is where meal prep and things we're going to talk about in the future of making sure that you have things available. So as you're going out the door, you can grab that sensible, healthy, real breakfast and go. But again, 2 hours before bed, 2 hours after you wake up, 8 hours of sleeping, that's your 12 hours. And think about it. Other than maybe the 2 hours when you first get up, the majority of you guys are probably already doing that. It gives your system a chance to reset, your insulin levels stabilize, and your body shifts focus from constant digestion to other critical functions like cellular repair. So once again, don't think about intermittent fasting as how long can you go without eating. Think about it as how long am I going without eating? You're not eating while you're sleeping unless you're getting up for that midnight snack. And stop that. We're going to talk about how to rewire your mind so you'll stop doing that. But again, guys, we're just getting started. This is only episode 2, and we've got a long way to help you guys build this new healthy way of living in your new body that you're truly going to love. So the beauty part of starting with a manageable 12-hour window is that it's sustainable. It doesn't feel extreme, and it doesn't disrupt your daily routine. From there, if you feel right and it feels good for you, gradually adjust as your body adapts. Sure, gradually adjust. Do not rush into this. That's that diet mentality. My 95-5 lifestyle that I am going to preach to you every single one of these podcasts, so stick with me through them all, is how we don't have to rush into this. This is not all or nothing. This is small, consistent growth. Here's the key. Fasting should feel natural and balanced. It's not about deprivation. If you're feeling miserable, cranky, or like you're counting down the minutes, it's not for you. And if it's not working for you, that's okay. That's why I said diets don't work. I'm just telling you, if you want to use this as part of your 95-5 lifestyle, feel free. Quite honestly, if you want to use any of these diets that I'm talking about as part of your 95-5 lifestyle, feel free. But remember, you're not using these diets the way they're intended. The way they're intended is all or nothing. This is a personal, you're going to learn, and I apologize if I didn't mention this in episode 1, but I want you guys to know, part of my 95-5 lifestyle is it's personal. It's what works for you. It's slow. It's completely intentional. And by the way, it works. And you're going to be healthy and you're going to lose weight over time. So the goal is to work with your body, not against it. So don't overcomplicate it. Start with that 12-hour window. Let your digestive system enjoy a well-deserved break. It's as simple as that. As we dive deeper into this podcast, I'll show you how to integrate intermittent fasting seamlessly in your 95-5 lifestyle. Just, again, it's not for everybody. If you feel like you're counting down the minutes, do not. I'm just telling you, I use it. You do not have to. Enough. Let's get into the juice cleanse. The one that I think is absolutely stupid. What is the juice cleanse? It's a classic detox trend. While they can help you load up on vitamins for a few days, I mean, a ton of vitamins, you're just grinding the crap out of these fruits and vegetables. They often lead to low protein intake, low fat intake, and low fiber intake. Now, yes, you can add fiber and you can add stupid things and nuts and stuff to your shakes, all you want, okay? You guys, I'm just going to tell you, I like food. That's why this 95-5 lifestyle works for me. I cannot imagine drinking my meals. I'm just going to tell you straightforward. I'm not knocking it. If you guys really love shakes, great. I like a good shake. But again, think about this. Drinking your meals every single day. How can you really tell me, comment, tell me I'm wrong. Listen, I would love, it'll help me know that you're listening to me. Tell me I'm BS. You've done the juice cleanse and it's amazing. Okay, if you want to use it as a cleanse and you're going to do it for 2 weeks just to kind of flush things out of your body, great. Again, this is just like intermittent fasting, just like what I said earlier. You can use any one of these things, but work it in mindfully, slowly into the 95-5 lifestyle that I'm going to teach you guys. Again, I know I'm knocking it, but unless you're going to use it for a 1 to 2 week period just to cleanse your body and then start the 95-5 lifestyle, great. I'm telling you, it's not sustainable. Now, let's talk about the last diet, the low-fat diet. For years, we were told fats were the enemy, but science has shown that fats can be healthy depending on the fats. Avocados, nuts, olive oil. They're essential for our bodies and can even help with weight loss. Cutting out fat entirely often leads to overeating of carbs and processed foods instead. So, here's what they all get wrong. Every one of these, okay? And I've kind of hit on it already. But the common thread in all of these diets is restriction. They make you feel like you have to give up something forever. Carbs, fat, certain foods you love, solid foods, juice cleanse, sorry. And that's just not sustainable. And when you eventually cheat or go off the plan, it's easy to spiral and feel like you failed. Here's the truth. If you don't need to restrict entire food groups or follow rigid rules to lose weight, you don't. What you need is balance, consistency, and a plan that fits your life, not the other way around. One thing I promise you, and hold me to it, with these podcasts, I am not one of these other podcasts that are going to just tell you it's not a diet and then you start listening to them, and it's 100% a diet. I'm telling you, this is the farthest thing from a diet. You can utilize pieces and parts of any of them, but it's all about how you're going to think about food going forward, what you're going to eat consistently to maintain a healthy life. And then that other 5%, that's when it's not all or nothing anymore. That little bit of indulgence is not going to kill you. And we're going to work on how you're going to get your mind to understand this and focus on this. So it's all about balance. You focus on eating clean, whole foods 95% of the time, but you also leave room to enjoy the things you love, the foods that make life enjoyable. That's that 5%. Now, let's be real. Shifting to a lifestyle like this doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't have to. That's the beauty of the 95-5 lifestyle. The key is starting slow. Maybe this week, your first goal is as simple as cutting out one sugary drink a day. That's it. Swap it for water, tea. I apologize. Speaking of water, I should have brought something in here. And I'm not even going to cut it out, guys. I'm trying to do an episode without editing. So this is raw and this is real, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Long story short, maybe just cut out one sugary drink. Swap it for water. Swap it for tea. Swap it for sparkling water. Some of them have a lot of sodium in them, so just be careful. But again, it's baby steps, I just want you to start thinking about this. How do I get rid of bad things for something that's maybe not as bad, but could be better? You know what I mean? So once you've mastered that, move on to something else, like adding more vegetables to one of your meals or cooking at home instead of stopping at McDonald's on the way home. These small manageable steps build consistency, and consistency is what leads to real, long-lasting results. Think of it like building a house. Okay, I've got a couple good friends who are carpenters. So you start with a foundation. Each positive habit you build is like another brick, creating something solid that lasts a lifetime. And here's the best part. The 95-5 lifestyle isn't about being perfect. It's not about meticulously tracking every calorie or banning all your favorite foods. Now, let's talk about calories and counting calories for a minute. Because I know somebody listening to this podcast, whether you're listening to it today or hopefully 10 years from now, I'm still doing this and saving lives just like mine was saved. Calories. Do you have to count calories? No. I promise you, I've lost 111 pounds over 2 years. Now, you're going to say only 111 pounds over 2 years. That's the goal with this process. It's not strict fast diets, so I put it all back on like I've done my entire life. This is a 2-year process, building this and going longer than I've ever went losing weight. And I promise you, I've not counted a single calorie. Once I was given this secret, and then I started to mold it and make it personal to myself, I realized really quickly, I eat a lot less than I did before. Why? Whole natural foods have minerals, vitamins, all of the things that you were missing. And my Apple Watch is telling me that Best Buy wants to sell me something. But anyway, back to what we were talking about. You don't have to count calories. All these natural foods are going to give you 100% of the nutrients that you weren't getting before. Now, if you go back to one of my 15-day, 15 video challenges on YouTube before I started the podcast, I brought this up. You can eat an entire bag of Lay's potato chips. And here in Ohio, we have something called Lawson's Chip Dip. One of the best things in the world. Worst thing in the world, but Lawson's Chip Dip. If you've never had it on one of your 5% days, on one of the times where you're at a you're planning a party, pick it up if you find it. Anyway, Lawson's Chip Dip and Lay's potato chips. You can eat an entire bag, eat the entire tub. And I say tub, it's like a Cool Whip tub. Eat an entire tub of Lawson's Chip Dip and that Lay's potato chips. You're going to be sick as a dog. You're going to be busting at the gut. And you're going to feel like you can't eat another thing. 5 minutes later, you're going to go, man, I'm hungry. I feel sick. Oh, I can't eat another thing, but man, I'm hungry. Why am I hungry? I just ate all of this. You got no vitamins. You got no minerals. Your body is still hungry, although you're full. So you're going to notice as you start eating good foods more regularly and you work towards that 100% clean 95% of the time, you're going to realize you're not going to be hungry as much. Now, there's still some mental things, that Pavlovian thing that we all have where sitting in front of the TV, you get hungry even though you're not. We're going to work through that. We're going to work through these mental challenges and rewire our minds. But right off the rip, the biggest reason why you're always hungry, even though you've gorged yourself till you were sick, is all of this processed garbage gives us no vitamins, no minerals. They are completely empty of anything that your body needs. So, once again, calories. But isn't the secret to losing weight eating less calories than you burn? 100%. And we're going to do that. But we're going to do it because our bodies are full and they're enriched with the vitamins and minerals that we're getting from the real foods that we've been eating. And you're not going to be hungry. You might crave things, and that's where we work on the mental side of things. And guess what? Those cravings are going to be fulfilled on those times when you're at that party, you're at the ball game, you're at those places, and you're going to enjoy it worry-free, guilt-free, because you've learned to rewire yourself and live clean the other 95% of the time. So, because of that, you're going to learn to enjoy all of those 5% moments guilt-free because you're going to be full longer when you are eating the other way. So, I want you to stop thinking of food as the enemy. And I want you to start seeing it for what it really is. Fuel for your body. But it's also something to be enjoyed in those times. It's about rewiring your mindset and breaking free from the all or nothing thinking. That's what so many of those fad diets we were just talking about, that's what trap us completely in and pull us back every single time, is you slip up, you eat a cookie, and I'm done. No, stop that. We're going to fix it. Just follow me, subscribe. We're going to fix it slowly. You're going to love this. So now, I know that at least one of you, if not all of you, are going, John, you're full of BS. There is no way that I will lose weight eating like you're talking about. But let me ask you something. I want you to really take a moment and think back to your last few diets, whether it was 1, 2, or 5 diets ago. What was your weight at the beginning of that diet? Take your time. Now, what do you weigh today? Now, if you're in a group, you're around people, you're at work, you're listening to this in your earbuds, don't say it out loud. But I promise you, I know the answer. Because chances are your weight is pretty much close to exactly where you started. Or maybe if you're like I used to be, probably even more than when you started. So here's the real question. Did you lose that weight fast or slow? And if all the weight you lost came back And maybe it brought a few extra pounds with it, said, hey, come to the party. Was it really fast weight loss? Was it really worth it? Wouldn't it be better if you had a way to lose weight slowly, methodically, over time? A way that didn't just help you shed pounds, but rewired your mindset and retrained your body so you could keep that weight off for good. That's the beauty of the 95-5 lifestyle. It's not a race. It's about building habits and creating lasting change. Change that works for your life, not against it. So here's your homework before the next episode. I hope you come back. I hope you've gotten something out of this. And if you plan on being at the next episode, here's your homework. Think about one small change that you can make this week. Just one. Maybe it's replacing just one processed snack one day for the entire week. You're going to replace it just one day. Maybe it's replacing that processed snack once every day. Maybe it's swapping your usual takeout for a home-cooked meal like we talked about earlier. Whatever it is, I want you to write it down. Don't put it in the comments. It's personal. But I want you to commit to doing it. I want you to commit to that one thing. Maybe on the last episode on Thursday. Now I'm going to try to do these weekly, but the first episode was supposed to air Monday, but everything got approved early, so I recorded and released it early. So here's episode 2 on what should have been day 1. So you get 2 episodes this week. And I may do 2 episodes every week. I don't know. I'm working on this. Again, guys, I'm trying to pay this forward for you guys. So I'm trying to figure out how to make this work in my life too, because I do work a full-time job as a rideshare driver. But I want to help you guys, and I want to save some lives because my life was saved with this. Now, it's not exactly what he showed me, but it's the foundation of what he showed me is this plan. And that's what I want you guys to understand is I want this to be a foundation for you guys, and I want it to be personal. So here's what I want you to do. Commit to that one thing. Write it down. Now, on YouTube, under the Health Tech and Wellness Podcast, you'll find my email. You'll find my Facebook group. If you want to, hit me up on either one of those and tell me what you wrote down that you're going to commit to because you want somebody to support you and back you. Please feel free. But do not put it in the comments. This is personal. I want you guys to truly commit to it. I want you to also remember you're not alone in this. The 95-5 lifestyle is about building habits that work for you, not against you. It's about making your health goals fit into your life and not the other way around. So, again, if you want to hit me up on one of those other 2 ways, feel free. But don't put it in the comments. If you want to, feel free. Put it in the comments because maybe you want that group mentality. But I'll tell you, the internet can be a mean place. And I'm looking at building a group on my Facebook group that'll be private, invitation only, that I would like to have like-minded folks join who are interested in helping each other and supporting each other and working with me along this path. But that's in the future, and I'm trying to figure out how to do that because the last thing I want is, let's just say, because I know I'm going to get them, trolls saying things that we don't need. This is about supporting each other. But before we wrap up, let me remind you, this journey isn't about perfection. It's about progress, consistency, and building a lifestyle that works for you. I'm so excited to keep sharing these tools with you, these strategies and these insights to help you break free from the cycle of fad diets and start living on your terms. That's what I keep trying to drive. This is your terms. I'm just giving you the foundation. Every episode is going to be another step towards that healthier, happier you. Before you go, don't forget to hit the follow button, subscribe, and then share this episode with somebody who you know can also use this advice, who wants to ditch the fad diets and start living on their terms. Together, we're going to create this community that's focused on real results, real support, and no gimmicks. That's it. It isn't just about weight loss. It's about creating a healthier, happier you. Thank you guys. As always, stay healthy, stay balanced, and keep driving forward. I'll see you next time.